Welcome back to the deep dive. So if you've ever been on a team that's building something, anything really, you know the feeling. You run headfirst into uh, these huge fundamental
Yeah,
questions.
big one.
The big ones, like what are we actually building and why? Why now, of all times? And the one that gets everyone, how will we know if it even worked?
Hmm. That last one is the kicker.
It is. And in too many places, the answers are just, well, they're based on gut feelings. A lot of hand waving.
Which is, a recipe for total chaos.
Exactly. So today, we're doing a deep dive on the framework that's really designed to cut through all that noise. It's called Vision, Strategy, and Outcomes, or VSO for short.
Right.
We think this is maybe the single best shortcut to getting a team focused,
Yep.
especially if you're a product manager, a PM, and you're the one responsible for setting that direction.
For sure.
So our mission today is to just distill this down. We're going to pull out the core definitions, the connections, and maybe most importantly, the big distinctions, like outcomes versus outputs. We want to turn this from just a buzzword into something you can actually use.
Let's do it.
Okay, so where do we start?
Well, to really get why VSO is so powerful, I think we first need to see where it fits. It's not just three random words floating in space.
Right.
It's like the operational spine of the whole product organization. Imagine a pyramid, a hierarchy of decisions. Everything flows from the very top, the big abstract stuff, down to the tiniest detail.
Okay, I'm with you. A pyramid.
So at the very, very top, level one, you've got the mission. This is the big why. Why does this company even exist? It's huge, and it almost never changes.
The put a dent in the universe kind of thing.
Exactly that. Then, right below that, we get to our core trio. Level two is the vision. So what's that inspiring future we want to create? Think, 3 to 10 years out.
Yep.
Level three is strategy. How are we going to get there? What are the big choices we're making? And then level four is goals or outcomes. The proof. What are the concrete, measurable changes we'll see that tell us we're on the right path?
And I feel like that middle section, that VSO block, that's where most teams just fall apart. They try to jump straight from the mission to
Well,
the to-do list.
100%.
Yep.
And that's what the bottom of the pyramid is. Level five is the roadmap or the initiatives. These are the big projects, the bets we're making this year to drive those outcomes.
Right.
And at the very bottom, level six, you have the features and tasks, the stuff the team is actually coding this week, this afternoon.
So if you skip that middle part, that VSO,
You get what we call feature factory syndrome. You're just constantly busy, shipping a lot of stuff.
they feel productive.
You feel very productive.
Yeah.
But you have no idea, no reliable way of knowing if any of it actually matters. Are you moving the needle, or are you just making noise? VSO is that essential link.
That makes perfect sense. So let's start at the top of that link then, with vision, the North Star. I like that analogy because it's fixed, it gives you direction, even when things get foggy down on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
So a vision is this vivid, inspiring picture of the future state you're trying to create, right?
Right.
It's long-term. And I think this is so important. It's qualitative. It's not a number.
Not a number, precisely. The moment your vision becomes a metric, it loses its power. And if it's all about you, the company, or just about money, it fails to inspire anyone.
It has to be about the user.
It has to be. What value are you creating for them? That's what gets a team through the tough times for years.
So what does a good one sound like?
The best ones are these little inspirational nuggets. They're about an improved life for the user. Something like, help every small business owner feel in control of their finances.
I like that. Feel in control. It's an emotion.
It is, or another one, make learning a new language feel as natural and fun as chatting with a friend. Again, it's about the feeling.
Natural and fun. It's aspirational. So what's a bad one then? I feel like we see those all the time.
All the time. A bad vision is usually a financial goal in disguise, like increase our ARR to $50 million.
Right, which is a great goal, but it's not a vision.
It's a key result, not an inspiring destination. Or another bad one, be the #1 app in the App Store. That's just ego. It doesn't tell your team what problems to solve.
And it gives you zero guidance on what to build next.
None. For a PM, the vision is your anchor. It's your tiebreaker. Two good ideas come across your desk. Which one do you pick? The one that gets you closer to that vision. It's what gives you the power and the justification to say no.
Okay, so once that North Star is set, we need a map. Which brings us to strategy.
Right. If the vision is where we're going, the strategy is the high-level plan for how we're going to get there. And, crucially, how we plan to win.
And this is where it gets hard, isn't it? Because strategy means making choices. It means trade-offs.
That is the absolute heart of it. A strategy without trade-offs isn't a strategy at all. It's just a list of things you hope to do.
A wish list.
A wish list. A real strategy says something like, we choose to do X and explicitly not Y so that we can win at Z. It's about focusing your firepower, not spreading it thin.
Can we just pause on that? Because saying no, I mean, that's politically really hard inside a company. What if a huge client is demanding Y? How does a PM defend that?
You defend it by pointing back up the chain. You remind everyone that the strategy isn't a suggestion, it's a commitment we all made. Saying no to that big enterprise feature request. That's what allows us to focus all our energy on winning with the small business owner. It protects our differentiation.
So you need to actually write this down somewhere.
Yes, you need
Yeah.
to make it explicit. A good product strategy document has about 5 essential parts.
Okay, let's break them down.
First, your target users. Who are you serving? Be specific. Solo small business owners, 1 to 10 employees. And just as important, who you are not serving.
That not part is so key.
It's everything. Second, the key problems you're solving for them. Like, they spend way too much time on manual admin and they're terrified of tax season. Third is your value proposition, the promise. Understand your cash flow in under 5 minutes a day. Simple, powerful.
I like that.
Fourth, differentiation. How are you different or better? We're radically simpler than traditional accounting tools. And finally, number 5, the guardrails, the explicit things you won't do. We will not build custom enterprise features. That story has to be coherent.
Okay, so we have the destination, the vision, we have the path, the strategy. Now we need, what, the mile markers? The
Path.
odometer.
The odometer is a great way to think about it, and that brings us to outcomes. This is where we measure our progress and hold ourselves accountable.
And an outcome. It's a change, right? A measurable shift in behavior. It's the answer to the question, if our strategy is working, what will be different?
Exactly. And this leads us to what is maybe the biggest aha moment in all of product management.
The classic.
The classic confusion between outcomes and outputs. So many teams, even really senior ones, they confuse being busy with being successful.
So let's define them. An output is what you ship. It's the thing you make. We launched a new dashboard. You have total control over that.
Total control. An outcome, on the other hand, is what changed because you shipped it. It's the result out in the world. Retention for new users went up by 15%. You don't control that directly. You can only influence it with your outputs.
And as a PM, your job, what you're paid to do, is move outcomes, not just ship outputs.
That's the whole game. And to do that, you have to connect the outcomes together. There's sort of 3 layers.
Okay.
At the top, you have the user outcome. This is often a feeling or a belief. Our users feel more confident about their finances. Hard to measure.
Right.
So below that, you have the product outcome. This is the behavior in your app that you think leads to that feeling. For example, weekly users viewing the Insights tab increases by 20%. That you can measure.
I see.
And that product outcome should drive a business outcome. The impact on the bottom line, something like customer churn reduces by 15%. And we often use frameworks like OKR's objectives and key results to make all of this really explicit and measurable.
Okay, let's tie this all together. Let's show how this whole VSO chain actually dictates what gets put on the roadmap.
Perfect. Let's use that language learning app example.
Great.
So the vision is clear. Make learning a new language feel fun and effortless, like chatting with a friend.
Fun and effortless. Got it.
The strategy choices flow from that. We're targeting busy adults 10 to 15 minutes a day. We're mobile first. We're focused on gamification. And our guardrail is we are not building for schools or academic grammar.
Okay, so those choices force you to pick specific outcomes to measure.
Exactly. Based on that strategy, a key product outcome for us might be increase the number of daily active learners who complete a 7-day streak by 30%.
Because streaks are about daily habits and gamification.
Precisely. And a business outcome could be increase subscription conversion by 10%. Now, and only now, can we talk about the roadmap?
Because now we know what we're trying to achieve.
We're not just brainstorming cool ideas. We're making specific, high-cost bets that we believe will move those specific numbers.
So an initiative might be.
An initiative could be build a new streaks and rewards system. Why? To hit that daily learner outcome. Another one might be launch 10-minute conversation packs that feel like real chats. Why? To improve conversion and make it feel more effortless.
And that's the magic moment, right?
Yeah.
When you can draw a straight line from a tiny task in the backlog all the way up to the company vision.
That's the sign of a healthy system. You have to be able to complete the sentence. We are building this feature because it supports outcome X, which is part of our strategy Y, which gets us closer to our vision Z.
And if you can't complete that sentence,
Then that initiative is probably noise, and you should kill it, no matter how cool the idea seems.
okay, this is super clear, but we know people mess this up all the time. Let's talk about the common mistakes, the pitfalls.
Good idea.
Let's start with vision mistakes. We talked about being too vague or too money-focused. What's the fix?
The fix is to make it specific and user-centered. Read it out loud. If you were trying to recruit a top engineer, would they be inspired? Would they understand the value you're trying to create in the world?
Good test.
And-
Okay, what about strategy mistakes? You said the big one is confusing strategy with the roadmap.
Yeah, and that comes from a fear of being wrong, a fear of making a choice. So you hedge your bets and try to do everything for everyone. The fix is hard, but it's simple. Explicitly decide what you won't do. Get everyone in a room and agree on the trade-offs.
Write down the guardrails.
Write them down. And finally, with outcomes, it's that constant battle, outputs versus outcomes.
Right. We measure what's easy, did we ship the code? Instead of what's valuable, did user behavior change?
And the fix for that has to come from leadership. You have to reward teams for moving outcomes, not just for shipping features. And don't track 30 metrics. Pick the vital few, get a baseline, and set a clear target. Know what good looks like before you even start.
So let's bring it all home.
To sum it all up, vision is your long-term inspiring destination. Strategy is your coherent path to get there, the choices and trade-offs, and outcomes are the proof that your path is actually working.
And the PM's job is really to be the guardian of that chain, to make sure that all the energy, money being spent every single day can be traced back up that line.
That is the core function of the role.
So we'll leave you with a final thought, and it connects back to that idea of strategy as a coherent storyline. If your current project, the main thing your team is focused on right now, if that were a story, is the plot, your strategy, actually supporting the ultimate goal, the vision. And maybe more importantly, are you measuring the right climax, the outcomes, to know if your story is a success? What story are you telling this week?